Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. This is Sunday, March 23rd, I believe, that I'm doing this video. And essentially, it just feels like it's a Sunday morning. Well, it's still a Sunday morning, and that seems like a perfect time to glue stuff down. I almost made a boo-boo. I had the TV on because, of course, today is an important day in Canada. The writ has been dropped, triggering a federal election. So I was watching political coverage and listening to speeches and so on. And I nearly started the camera with the TV blaring in the background. So that would have been a boo-boo. Anyway, what I did for several hours last night was go through my considerable collection of gift wrap. And I mean, it is totally out of control. Excuse me. So as I was preparing or separating papers into bundles that I would be bringing to a live sale, you know, vintage stuff that practically crumbles in your hands, to more modern papers, I was also setting aside small pieces, or pieces that I knew I would never in a million years use as, you know, traditional decoration. I mean, this paper is beautiful as an example. I'm giving some chunks away to some people, but I'm never going to do an Easter journal. So basically, I made a pile of some of these, you know, like this, that should be used up so I don't have to deal with it anymore. This is nice paper, but the sheet was kind of damaged, so I had to straighten it out, and I ended up with several of these strips. So what I did was pull out some of these glue books to see if I could use up some of the smaller pieces. I will show you what I have done. I'll point out where I added pieces. Again, it's, oh, and I also put some, sorry, I forgot that I also put some in my A to Z glue book. Now, beside me here is much more paper, but these pieces are in a category by themselves. They're nicer. They're more conducive to what well, not this one. They're more conducive to what a person might want to use in an art journal, but they're also bigger pieces as a rule. This is what I mean by absolutely ancient paper. Look at the discoloration and the point of weakness at the fold lines. Oh, it's hanging in better than I thought, but definite discoloration, and clearly there was a lot of it. Plus, it's a wedding paper, so I have made this pile both of things that are very beautiful, like this world map version, as well as others that just by their very nature are kind of strange. They're very thin. I wouldn't call it a tissue paper, but it is kind of translucent. So expect to see these pages reappear either in upcoming art journal videos, and or if I do a flip through of, you know, things that I've done without you. This one, very graphic, so I can see this becoming a background page in something. But my first mission today was to use up as many of the small, difficult images as possible. So let's just see what I did in here. Oh, this is beautiful. It shouldn't be there. So this was on my bee spread. So I have balloons, butterflies, and in fact, maybe I should just glue that down while we're here. You know, sometimes when you're at this point in a book, you actually need to fussy cut some stuff, and I did. Now, you know, if you've watched me any length of time at all, you know that this whole glue book idea is a bit of a departure for me, because typically I like a little more control over what I'm doing. So to have, you know, to do things this way is a bit, I don't know where, if I know where to put that, but I do, whoops, I do know where to put this. So I started trying to fussy cut around those bunnies, and I thought, well, no, let's just put it in as a block of color. So, you know, when push comes to shove and you look at something like a gift wrap collection, you realize that you love your collection in its entirety, but you don't necessarily love all the parts, the pieces that make up the collection. Or you realize that you have so much of it that just for the sake of your own space constraints and emotional and mental well-being, you need to get rid of some. Now, I have shared wallpaper in the past. See, I didn't need to put glue on there. Let's get that off there before it creates another issue. So, I mean, I still don't know how in the world I'm going to put together bundles that are attractive, desirable, and, you know, reasonably priced so that people, you know, want to buy them. Should I maybe put this guy down once and for all? You know, I typically stick things in the right page. I might have to just take a bit of this out to make it look a little better. I'm not going to, like if this was an actual journal, you know, for sale, or, you know, a project that wasn't just playing, I would never just settle for this kind of fussy cutting. But here, it really doesn't matter. And so let's glue this guy down once and for all. And if I put him over there, then his little, whatever that is, that pipe will be protected from further damage. So let's just do that. So yes, you know, there's nothing like an election to just make you sick all over again. Oh dear, maybe I should tear this so it's not quite so rigid looking. Now, I guess that in legislation somewhere, there are rules set out about how the minimum and the maximum length that an election campaign can be. And thank the Lord that we do not go with the American system that makes the country perpetually in election mode. I think that would increase suicide rates in Canada if we had to do that. Anyway, so this is going to be, I think, did they say 37 days long? And that too is going to seem like about 30 days too long, to be honest, by the time you have to listen to all those ads and all the, you know, navel gazing that goes along with it. I think unless I can find a place to put these balloons, I will probably just, it doesn't matter. So why don't I just put them there? Because, you know, those little ribbons are going to get damaged. I'm just using my Yoo-Hoo glue stick. It's the one I love the most. Try to cover up some of that ingredient list on that piece of bread. Anyway, yeah, so it will be interesting. Okay, so this spread I thought was largely complete. Now I ended up, I think I'm going to change my mind. I was going to put this animal print here, cheetah, C, but I don't know that it really does anything. Yeah, let's stick with the plan. I have to just be careful about how long I try to stretch these glue pages. So yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to stomach some of this, I'm sure. But the very hugely unpopular Justin Trudeau resigned only about a year and a half later than he should have. So there's a new Liberal Prime Minister. He's been Prime Minister for 9 days. And, of course, got the Governor General's permission to hold an election. These are obviously candles. And again, what in the world would a person do with this? But maybe I should just group the three of them here. Because again, what have I got to lose? Anyway, so it's going to be a bit of a gong show. I've told you in previous videos that I have a column that appears in the weekly newspaper, and I've only been doing it for 22 or 3 or 4 years, and you know, haven't been shy about what, you know, boneheaded things the government has done. And so being partisan in any way is a disqualifying factor in working the federal election. And honestly, with the minority government, the Elections Canada has been in a state of readiness, you know, for a couple of years now, because of course the government could have fallen at any time in a non-confidence motion. So I imagine, because I've worked every election, provincial and federal, for the last 25 or so years. Oh, let me put this back with the bees. Under the bee, bird, and balloon. I didn't add anything else, so we can put this one aside. So let me go back to showing you what happened here. Anyway, because I've worked all those elections, you know, I think there will reach a point, and there's a very short window for training and so on to happen. I imagine I'll be contacted to work again. It is an application process, but, oh, it doesn't belong here. Anyway, I'm going to sit this one out. I don't care how desperate they are for workers. Yeah, I'm just going to be sitting at home, glued to the tube, watching election results come in across the country. So I'm taking my stand, and don't let me change my mind, even if the pressure comes. Okay, I've shown you this book before, and up until, you know, a few minutes ago, none of this cheetah print was here. But I thought the colors worked beautifully. And, you know, it's just adding another something to the cover. On this page, on this spread, I've added these Scotty dogs and a couple bits of the cheetah, and this lovely paper here. Here I've added more of those strips in 3 places. Here, because this was largely, you know, very neutrally, I added some red in some places. Here I added more red. Here I added more Scotty dogs. Here I've added these, I guess those are foxes, even though the color is a bit off. So in 3 places I did that. Here I added the strip of butterflies. Didn't do anything there. Oh, and here I added all these bears that are at a birthday party, I guess. This was, honestly, this was cute paper. My daughter, who is turning 40 this year, this was on wrapping. This was salvaged from a gift she received from a classmate, probably in junior high. Oh, Hillary, happy birthday. Oh my God, do I have the paper hoarding gene or what? I don't, like, this is all I have left of it. So maybe I should just lay some. Let's just do it, because honestly, these bears aren't gonna look right anywhere else. So it's not like I would put them as a focal point or anything on something. And in case you're wondering how someone as young as I could possibly have a 40-year-old daughter, I was a child bride, and I gave birth at 5. I mean, obviously that's ridiculous. My child bride line hasn't worked for quite a few years now. I should give it up and perhaps admit that, yeah, I'm getting up there, baby. Okay, where could these guys go? Maybe they should be right there. Anyway, I was looking at, one day, just for the heck of it, I Googled the average life expectancy of a Canadian woman. And I was surprised that it hadn't increased since the last time I checked. And I mean, it's not that I do that, you know, I don't even do that every year. I can't remember the last time I did it, is all I'm saying. And it is essentially 84 years, slightly less for men. And of course, there are always, you know, those qualifying things. If you're poor, if you're uneducated, you know, it's likely to be lower. If you're well off, you know, probably higher. It depends on the genetic cards you were dealt, and so on and so on. And of course, the very nature of averages is that there are going to be some people who are going to die much younger and others who are going to die much older. Do the math, get the average. Okay, last bear. Let's put them over here facing those guys. And we're done with bears. So I was sort of doing a bit of math. Okay, 85. Now, okay, my dad died at 82. My mom died at 87, I think. I don't have any comorbidities that would shorten my life. So, you know, barring accidental death or something, I should live a good long time. However, just for the sake of some math, I thought, okay, 84 minus my current age, so carry the 1, and then, and then divide by and multiply by the number of weeks. Like, I don't know that I could get all my 300 journals done that I have in progress or all of my covers. Like one of these days, I'm doing a video on covers, and I'm going to show you the state of state I'm in regarding ideas, covers, and so on. And I also think that I might have been confused, misled, dumb, or naive. No, not dumb, naive, about how to go about this whole thing. Like, it's probably better, and this is certainly, some people do this. I guess everyone makes their own decision. Some people, I think, are making journals of all sizes and shapes. They tend to be small, they tend to be less decorated, and they tend to give them away. So that's one approach. The other approach is to do, and not that those aren't works of art, because they all are, but to do bigger, more involved, more decorated, more journals that then get sold for, a chunk of money. This was something I had just fussy cut. So there was this piece of paper. It had a white sticker on it with some kind of a number. And I just chose to cover this book with this. Now, in some places you can see, you can see our name and address. But anyway, no one's going to get that close. Oh, I forgot I have this little... Oh, I have to go dumpster diving. Just hang on. That should be big enough. That paper was torn crooked, so yeah, this will be good. Let's just maybe rough this edge up a bit. Anyway, I have a heck of a lot of journals started. I have all kinds of covers made, and I need to, it's just like those 12-step support groups. You have to admit that you have a problem. So I think I'll be doing a video admitting I have a problem, and then taking some kind of corrective action. Oh, that's kind of blobby and smeary. Okay, so, there is kind of a demarcation line here where, this has, but again, should I care about that? Probably not. But of course, if I come across something absolutely spectacular to add to this, I will. But it looks a heck of a lot better than when it was a cruise guide or whatever the heck it was. Okay, so I did that. Here, this paper, which is beautiful. It wasn't actually, I need to trim this. It wasn't actually gift wrap, but somehow I came across it with the gift wrap. It was that almost plasticky kind of paper that you get around a potted plant when they're covering up the, the little plastic pot. And it doesn't tear, incidentally. That's why these edges are kind of the way they are. So I just split it up into 6 things, spread them around. I came across, because again, I was trying to excavate around my desk here, I came across a field guide page of butterflies, fussy cut them out, added them here, and think this looks pretty darn cool at this point. But again, probably not finished. Didn't add anything. Oh, here all I did was glue down a thing from a fortune cookie, and these end pieces from some vintage wallpaper that I've had forever and a day. That, where did I put my art glitter glue? Is it right here and I just can't see it? Oh, this guy has let go on the seam here. This paper is from an antique, and I do mean antique, scrapbook that I had. So the paper is cracking. So nothing much to show you there. Didn't do anything there. Didn't do anything there. But I did want to, whoopsie, I should also keep track of the time because some of the videos lately have been really long, and I know that some of you, you know, like that, some of you tolerate that, some of you probably fast forward, and I don't want to have to put you in that position. So, just to say that we did something, maybe I should look through some of these papers. Maybe let's try to, this is a challenging one, so let's try to use this up in some way rather than pull in another possible glue book. So just to make it less distracting. Okay, now this is wedding paper. It's a huge piece. We're not going to hope to use all of it, but that will be the ultimate goal, to eventually use all of it. Sorry about all the noise. This is like folding a road map. If you are old enough to remember road maps. Okay, so I put that aside. I'll put it with the mixed media papers because the pieces are so huge. So let's see if we can figure out something to do with this. You know, I mean, other than those bells, if you ignored the bells and you didn't mind pastel colors, it's not bad paper. It's just really pastel. So that wouldn't work there, but oh, we could start. This is really a dog's breakfast of stuff here. Maybe I should try to, I mean, that picks up some of that green, so why don't we just do that? And again, just trying to make the edges a little more interesting. Maybe covering up that zebra by the looks of things. Or do I want to put it here? Let the zebra live on. I can also put it this way. I could put it close to the, yeah, I don't mind covering up that beachy scene there. But maybe I should do it this way because that's a straighter edge. Who cares if the bell is upside down? That's not sticky, so I can use that. Now that is a huge, a huge piece to be collaging all in one fell swoop. But at this point, I don't even really consider this an exercise in collage because, oh my goodness, I can just see how sticky my hands are going to be. Because, of course, we're just creating a base and we're covering those undesirable images that are right there. I just have to remember to make sure that you guys are able to see what's going on here. Now, of course, you know, the day may come that this spread gets completed, and picking up on some of that metallic-y fleck there might be just what the doctor ordered in terms of, let's cover that up, in terms of how to finish the page. Let's get rid of this cut edge and I almost made that too small. Oh, wouldn't that be a fine how do you do? But I should probably, let's go lower so that those greens are kept intact. Just roughly take some of that off. I guess I could have taken a bit more off. Let's do another 1/2 inch. Yeah, she cut, or she tore and tore and tore until it was too small. Anyway, it's going to be an interesting time with Canadian politics in light of, whoops, everything that's going on in the U.S. And the world. Again, you know, it just blows my mind that one man, one misguided man, could put the whole planet in a tailspin. Well, I guess maybe now there are a handful of misguided men in the world, but we haven't had that up close and personal like this before. Usually the dictators and the crackpots were elsewhere, doing evil and so on. But let's just maybe turn this so you can see this a little better. We'll put this guy here, cover up some of that blue. Anyway, so Lord only knows what will happen on April 2nd when he threatens to enact, or whatever the verb is, these worldwide trade tariffs. So, can hardly wait for that to happen. Okay, maybe I should, but that's a little too close. Since I ripped this off, why don't I try to use it? Let's maybe change the shape a bit. Let's just do a skinny little guy. I guess I could have made that a bit wider because whatever I put there eventually will have covered up the edge. Will cover up part of the edge. Anyway, so, you know, when you feel powerless to change the things around you, and normally I don't engage in that kind of thinking. I always think, well, I can't change what's happening, but I can change my response to what's happening. Maybe the best thing to do is just cut and glue. I don't know. Anyway, let me get rid of that. Maybe I've done enough damage on this spread. I can, I don't think, let's just go crazy here for a moment. Wow. Can I justify using that in any realm whatsoever? There's also this, which again, you know, you've gotta love the colors, but man, oh man. Like the vibrancy of the colors. Did I mention that my word for 2025 is risk? Okay, this was the page she did after her breakdown. Okay, let's glue that baby down. I cannot believe I'm doing this. Really? I hope that you are well. I hope that your weather has not been, you know, crazy, scary, crazy. Let's get this up as high as we can go. And I hope that you are still, oh, it might be over by the time you see this. I was going to say, I hope that you're watching and caught up with the, not caught up with, but I mean caught up in Masterboard Madness. It was, I think, a very successful collaboration. And I so enjoyed doing it because, of course, the people who agreed to take part. This is going to be very high contrast, you know, with the pastels and that vibrant color there. So, could have been a tactical error. But that's the nature of risk-taking. So my challenge, oh, I should have torn this edge. I don't really appreciate it. That's how you keep your fingers nice and sticky. Cut it after, tear it after it's glued. All these stamped animals are rapidly becoming extinct here. And now I feel the need to do a third piece. Let's get rid of some of that garbage. Anyway, yeah, risk-taking. I think that when you do something, I kind of like that girl, but why should I try to save her? It's every man for himself. I think that this could very well end up being one of those spreads where where I will be tested as to, okay, how do you take something that is so full of extremes, how do you make it coherent? And that will be, that will be the challenge. Now, I think I have to use the rest of this up, so let's just do it. And I will let you go because, of course, trying to be more cognizant of the time I'm spending or expecting you to spend with me. And I love having you here. Maybe I could do that across there. I could do it that way. Do that. Maybe I need to put this here, or should I? Again, I'm just trying to, and when you have so much of something that you're not that fond of, you don't even feel bad if you tear it or cut it or whatever in a way that creates some waste and some scraps, because, hey, it helps use it up. And certainly I've gone above and beyond in trying to make this work. So, okay, I'm going to put that guy there. Yikes, that's sticky. And try to do those other two pieces. Mind you, I suppose I could also put them on another page. Let's spread the wealth around, eh? Just trying to do a bit of a fold so that the paper either, creases there or bunches up or whatever it wants to do. Let it do it now. Okay, this is what I have left, but if I do all of that, it's going to be a heck of a lot of purple. Not that there's such a thing as too much purple. Maybe. Again, I'm just trying to be quick, trying not to overthink, trying to get rid of this stuff. So first of all, I save the green and then I cover it up. Sometimes if you're unsure about, you know, where to next, you can certainly make the pieces a bit smaller. That might make it more palatable to you. Or you could just throw caution to the wind and do whatever the heck you want. Okay. Let's break up this big expanse of that. And we are done, baby, done. Cover up South Africa. And that, my lovelies, is it for today. Let me throw these sticky things away. Put the glue away. And I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. This may end up being a favorite spread. Who knows? Do you see, just as a little experiment, do you see how this makes you feel versus how this makes you feel? So our art does evoke an emotional response. Okay, guys, we're stopping there. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your presence, your comments, your likes, your support. I appreciate you letting me vent about circumstances and not hold it against me. I appreciate your support in the comments when you say that you too are worried and concerned. And I'm talking about people on the south side of the border. So I also have some of these things. Maybe I need to put some orchids down. Anyway, that'll be in another one. Okay, guys, thank you for being here. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.